Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do a commentary on James Rutherford and his confrontation with Chris Hansen. I'm going to do the uncut footage here. I did this one back in the day when I first started the old version of this channel, but somehow I lost that video. I accidentally deleted it or something, so I decided just to do it fresh. I really like this one. It's actually one of my favorites just because we get like the uncut version, because we just get so much more of the back and forth between them, and there's just like more value to draw from this interaction. So let's get into it.
I'm in right now, because he sees me. Come on in. Okay. Stay there.
And of course, just him driving his Corvette there, his red Corvette, and it's first of all, this video is like incredibly shitty. Like, that is horrible. This looks like 1921 camera that's been colorized. But yeah, he's just the kind of guy that would just get an expensive, flashy car because he thinks it makes him look cool, and maybe he thinks it like makes up for other areas in his life where he's lacking. I mean, there's nothing wrong with driving a nice car. You can drive whatever you want, but judging from what this guy says about how pathetic his life is, and he's so lonely, and he's getting a divorce, but he has to make sure that he drives a cool car as just a superficial way to fill that void. And as he makes this walk here from his car to the house, these are his last free moments when he had somewhat of a normal life. The worst thing going on for him now is getting a divorce, which is something that a hell of a lot of people go through. He could have just dealt with that, put it behind him, remarried later, and his life would have been fine. Instead, he walks up to this house and knocks on the door, and his life changes forever.
Come on in.
Like how he's just doing the look around. He doesn't do the look back like Maurice Wolin. He does the full on. I'm going to just take a quick walk around and surveil the area to make sure no one's watching me.
Come on in.
So I don't think he can hear her from. We're probably hearing her voice over the microphones in there, but he clearly can't hear her from outside.
The door's open.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm just gonna go.
And it seems like an awkward setup just to have that like glass table right in front of the door. It just seems weird.
Finish getting ready. I'll be right there.
Where are you?
I'll be right back. Just sit at the bar and I'll be right there.
All right, well, I'll be out here.
Just take a seat.
Don't say take a seat. You might tip them off.
Come here.
You get to see his hesitation. Like his mind is probably just screaming at him right now. Just like, something's up here. This is very fishy. This is red flag. Red flag. Get the hell out of here. Instead, he's just like lingering in the doorway, kind of in this standoff of like, come here. No, just take a seat. I'll be there in a minute. No, come here. It's like, you shouldn't have come to begin with, but it might have been too late. Even if you ran off now, it's probably too late for him. But still, wouldn't the natural reaction be to get the hell out of there as soon as you thought something was up?
No, I promise I'll be right back.
No, come here.
I'll be right there. Just wait. Try to be a little patient.
Actually, I want you to come here.
That's what I thought.
Don't you have a seat right over there?
That's what I thought. See, he just knew it. He knew this was going to be a sting, and it was a sting. So why did you come? Obviously, his desire just like overwhelmed any sort of rational thought in his mind.
Okay. What are you doing here?
See, I bet you right now, I don't know, like, you never know what's going on in someone else's mind, but I bet you he thinks he can talk his way out of this. He thinks if he just downplays it, he hasn't done anything wrong, quote, hasn't done anything wrong yet, even though he has, but in his mind, it's not like he hasn't touched her or anything, so he thinks he could probably talk his way out of it.
I just came to hang out, really.
You came to hang out.
Yeah.
And you came to hang out with whom?
I had a feeling this was what was going on, honestly.
You had a feeling what was going on?
That this was some sort of setup.
A setup. A setup?
But this went on for a long time. This wasn't like in the newer takedown episodes where the whole chat happens over the course of like a few hours. This chat went on. I don't know how long it was, but I think it was like weeks. Like it was quite a long chat. So he had a lot of time to really think about this. If he thought it was a sting or some sort of setup, he just kept talking and talking and talking and talking until he eventually came over. Like if he thought it was going to be a setup, a normal person would have stopped already. I mean, a normal person wouldn't be doing this to begin with, but he just obviously thought it was a sting, but figured it was worth trying anyway.
For what?
I don't know, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't come here for anything physical.
Jim, if you say you didn't come here for anything, you're not being honest. You can't say, I'm going to be honest and then give a blatant lie that you did not come for anything. You were very, very explicit and clear in your chat log why you were coming, and we all know why you're there.
I just was bored. I'm going through a divorce. I just wanted to get out of the house.
So he's got 3 excuses. Bored, going through a divorce, and just wanted to get out of the house. None of those in any way would lead a rational, normal person to do this kind of thing. There are other things to do if you're bored, like literally anything. Play video games, go for a walk, go to the gym, call up your friends, go sit in a bar, go to a movie. Like, there's a million different things you could do that are not this. And same with being like bored and not getting out of that house. Like, it's like, yeah, the only way you can get out of the house is if you go over to visit a minor who's home alone. That doesn't make any freaking sense. That is ridiculous. And going through a divorce, yeah, a lot of people go through a divorce. And maybe I'll get into details about my thoughts on his divorce in a bit when he talks about it more. But I just have the feeling that it was mostly his fault.
Honestly.
So you couldn't go to a sports bar to watch a game, or you
I've been
couldn't go
doing
to
that
a
all
pal's
weekend,
house?
man.
And so you thought you'd come here to this house?
I knew it wasn't a good idea from the get-go.
Who did you think you were going to meet here?
Just this kid I've been talking to.
This kid.
Why would he phrase it like that? I think he thinks that, hey, if I'm straightforward with it and just admit that it's a kid, it'll make it seem like I have nothing to hide. It's like, no, it just makes it sound horrible that you call her like a kid, like, which she is. Like, you know she's a kid, and you're here to do this.
I know she's a kid.
How old?
13, 14.
13.
She's not 13 or 14. She's 13. He just thinks if he says 13 or 14, that maybe the 14 will make it look a little bit less creepy. I don't think so, Jim.
13. And how old are you?
Too old for a 13, 14-year-old.
Too old. And how old is that?
26.
26.
Like literally twice her age.
And you thought it was okay to come over here to visit a 13-year-old girl home alone?
No, I really didn't.
But you're here.
I know. I don't know why.
What's your name?
My name's Jim.
Jim what?
Do I have to say?
I'm going to find out.
Am I going to get arrested for this?
That's not up to me.
I'll answer that for you, Jim. Yes, you are.
Are you going to turn me in?
Again, that's not up to me.
I mean, I really...
And that's like he's just worried about himself. Just like, am I going to get arrested or are you going to turn me in? Can I please get away with this without any sort of consequence? That's what he's asking.
Fuck.
What do you do for a living, Jim?
I'd rather not say.
Jim?
I'd rather not say.
We already know, Jim. Just spill it.
Why don't you just tell me where you work?
Who do you work for?
I'll get to that in a minute.
No, I'd really like to know. I'm sure I'm on TV or something right now.
Why don't you just tell me what you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher. And what grade do you teach?
6th grade.
6th grade. So you teach kids about the same age as the girl you were coming to see.
I would never do anything.
How could you say that? Like we literally have this chat log of you saying exactly what you wanted to do with her. Like it was pretty disturbing stuff. So how could you say you were going to do all of that, talk about it repeatedly over days and days and weeks, and then you come over, and then now that you're confronted, you claim you weren't going to do all the stuff that you said you were going to do?
I don't know why I'm here. Can I go?
No, not just yet.
Are the police here?
Again,
Sir, please just tell me.
I have some more questions for you. There's nothing I can do to keep you here, but I have some more questions for you.
Are the police here?
Yeah, he's very, very concerned about the police being there, which is funny. 'Cause he's even said like, "Yeah, I'm probably on TV or something." So it seems like he's more worried about getting arrested than being exposed, which in reality, one would lead to the other. Even if the police weren't there and he was just exposed on television, the police would probably pick up on it and come for him anyway. And if he's arrested by the police, but it's not television, the fact that he's a teacher and if this is like a fairly small town, it's probably going to wind up in the news anyway. So either way, one's going to lead to the other. So he just seems like he's just so worried about the police. It's like, don't worry, Jim. The police will find you eventually, even if they were not here at this moment.
I have to talk to you about some of the things that you said on the internet.
Okay.
You were on your webcam showing off in front of this 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, this guy was pathetic. He was just like, I think I read his chat log or I watched another YouTube video that was of it or something. But he was like bragging and constantly showing off. That was like half of it, and the other half was just him, like pity me, just being a pathetic loser. Like he's just like a down in the dumps loser kind of guy, and he's just like giving. Like telling all of this, spilling it to like a 13-year-old to like get sympathy from her, and then he'll like turn around and brag about his car or show off his abs, and like it was just a very, very pathetic chat log.
I know.
And the conversation you had with this girl
It was bad. I know. I don't know why. I need help.
You're cute too. Definitely have a pretty face. For jailbait. Laugh out
I knew
loud.
it was wrong.
Yeah, jailbait. Laugh out loud. You laughing now, Jim?
Knew it was wrong. I'm sorry.
I could be your teacher. Would you flirt with me? She says wink at you and stuff. Hee hee, okay.
Like, dude, that is so creepy. You are a teacher, and then you like bring that into the flirtatious, inappropriate conversation you're having.
Cute. You'd like that. I'd be flattered. Not like that's a bad thing. Innocent enough.
I knew I shouldn't have come. I knew I shouldn't have come. I'm sorry, man. I knew it.
He keeps saying like, I knew it was wrong. Like that's kind of like a defense. That just means that you knew it was wrong and you did it anyway. That's like even worse than not knowing it's wrong. Which how could you not? Like it's not like this is a speed limit where you don't know if it's 60 or 70 in this particular area. It's not like the laws vary state to state. Like the punishments might vary from state to state, but there's no place where this is allowed. So it's not like you didn't know. You can't claim ignorance on this.
What school do you teach at, Jim?
I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find out. I'm going to get arrested, I'm sure.
How about St. Margaret of York?
That's it.
Is that right?
Like it just takes Chris all of like 4 seconds to figure that out after Jim tries to hide that information.
What? Do you coach too?
Not anymore, apparently.
And like what he's just giving these like kind of like semi-sarcastic like responses. Like I don't know, it pisses me off.
You say, I guess I'd like to kiss you. You say, I guess I'd kiss you too then.
Look, dude, I know what I said. I shouldn't have said it.
You don't get to lay down the law with Chris Hansen, James. Don't pound your palm on the table and try to like put your foot down and say, you know what, this is the way it's going to be. It's like, no, you did this. You're here. You've been exposed. You've been caught. You're in the wrong. Now he gets to humiliate you a little bit.
My life just ended completely.
Why did you do it?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I have
You're
no
grown
damn
up.
clue. This was the stupidest thing I've ever done.
And all the guys, like pretty much all of them, they say that, like, I don't know, why'd you do this? Like, I don't know. And there probably is quite a bit of element of truth to that, is they don't know why they did it. Well, obviously, like, why they did it is because they wanted to do it. That's the main thing. But they probably never really spend time thinking about why they have urges to do this and why they wanted to do this very predatory thing. It's just something they wanted to do, so they went out and did it. So when they're asked, why'd you do this? There's no answer. Like they haven't had enough time to like analyze their own actions, and really there is no possible answer other than they wanted to do it, so they carried it out or attempted to carry it out. So it's like, yeah, like what kind of answer would you give? Like they probably don't know. They probably never spent the time to figure out what the hell's wrong with them.
Just end it, man. This is...
Where are you most ticklish? All over. Oh, my
Look,
God.
dude, I
nice.
don't care. I know what I said. You don't need it for your
You
TV
don't care?
audience. I know that. No. All right, let me phrase that.
He's getting mad. He's getting mad now. He stands up and he's spreading his arms out there, trying to like assert some authority, even though you could tell he's a hell of a lot smaller than Chris Hansen here.
Please sit down. No. I'd like you to sit down, please.
I know you would. I'll tell. I mean, I know what I said. I
It
don't
gets
care.
a lot worse than
Yeah,
this.
I know, and I don't want to get into that. If I'm going to be arrested, just please have me arrested.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get into it because he doesn't want to have to have the things that he said thrown back at him. But it's like, buddy, you're the one that wrote all this stuff. You wrote it to someone, and now it's being read back to you, and you're so embarrassed you don't want to hear it. Well, then you shouldn't have written that down and sent it to her.
I need help, obviously.
Do you do this often?
Yeah, now he's going for the I'm the victim here. I need help. I'm not a predator. I'm just a sick person. I'm the real victim here. I just need help. Yeah, bullshit.
No, this is the first time I've ever done
This is the first time.
And that's kind of bullshit too. This might be the first time he's traveled to meet someone. That's possible. But as we find out, if you look into his case, he was chatting up other decoys in like a different state, or I can't remember if he lived in Ohio or whatever. But I think he was chatting with people in a different state, and that got him into other trouble. There was other decoys he was talking to. Not to mention he's a friggin' teacher, so he's around girls of this age or close to this age all day long, and whether or not he actually tried anything with the girls at his school, like who knows. But it's obviously a dangerous situation that a guy with these kind of thoughts is just surrounded by young kids of this age all day.
You know, because
It's very alarming.
I've heard that a lot.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure I'm
It
probably not the
seems
first
like
guy to do this.
everybody who comes into this house says it's their first time.
I'm sure they do.
So, what were you going to do with this 13-year-old girl?
I wasn't really going to. I mean, I called her earlier and said I'm not really comfortable with this. I didn't, and she kept saying, "Come on, I'll just hang out." I didn't want to do anything.
But you did get in the
I
car.
don't-
What does he mean he didn't want to do anything? Like, I don't even believe that when he says, like, I wasn't going to do anything. I don't even believe that because he fully intended to do it. I don't think anyone believes that. But how could he say he didn't want to do anything? Like, that's saying I wasn't going to and I didn't want to are two different things. Like, it could be, I wanted to do it, but I would have held back. Even that I don't believe. But that might be some kind of defense that possibly has, like, a smidgen of truth to it. But barely. But how could he say that he didn't want to do it? He repeatedly said what he wanted to do in the chat. Obviously, he wanted to do that. Like, how could he think we're so stupid that we'd ever believe that?
Drive here
Why?
from
The whole damn
Cincinnati.
way, I was thinking, what am I doing? Why am I just not going home?
But still, you
Yeah,
drove
I did.
here.
I don't-
So what does that mean? Like you were somehow possessed? Like a foreign entity took over your body? So you were like driving, you were pressing your foot down on the gas and hands on the steering wheel, and you just couldn't turn around. You're like, what am I doing? I can't stop myself. I don't want to do this, but yet my body is still making the car drive towards that address. Is that what he's saying? Obviously, maybe part of you knew it was wrong. That's probably likely. But you can't say you didn't want to do it because the part of you that wanted to do it won out, and you actually drove all the way there, parked, and came in.
Out, you knocked on the
Why?
door and you walked in.
I know, I didn't want to.
And you're all anxious.
What does he mean you didn't want to walk in? You were standing in the doorway telling the girl to come to you. Like, I didn't want to. Like, who was forcing you? You did it all by yourself. I didn't want to get in my car and drive all the way there and then park and then get out of my car and then go and knock on the door and then look around and then walk in. I didn't want to do any of that. But what? How could you say that? You don't do things that you don't want to do. That's the way life works. You don't go out of your way and drive a distance after making plans over text to do something and then say you didn't want to do any of it. That's not how, my buddy called me up and invited me to the football game. So, I drove down there and met him there. We went to the game, but I didn't want to. Like, what? That's insane. Like, you only do things if you want to do it. If you didn't want to, you'd be like, no, I'm not going to do this. No thanks. Like, clearly he wanted to do it.
Wanting to see the girl?
She just said, I'm just going to watch a movie. And I said, well, what the hell? I'll sit there and watch a movie with her.
Want to make out?
Look, dude, I mean, I'm sure the police are probably...
Yeah, like every bullshit excuse he gives, Chris just counters it by reading the stuff that he wrote. So obviously he wasn't coming over there just to watch a movie. That might have been his in. That might have been maybe what he was telling himself. Yeah, I'm not going to try anything, but maybe I'll just go over there to watch a movie. That's innocent. It's like, yeah, but you're still home alone with a 13-year-old girl that you had this chat with that was graphic and very inappropriate. And as soon as you're alone together and you're sitting there on the couch, there is no doubt in my mind that he wasn't going to try something. We all know that he was going to do exactly that.
Probably here. I'm going to go.
Right now, I totally do it.
You're not going, Jim. You're not going anywhere except to jail.
You want to know why I was doing all that? Honestly,
yeah.
I am going through a divorce. My wife Thursday told me she was leaving me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like, let's get into this divorce thing. How the hell does you getting a divorce lead you to do this kind of thing? Many people, isn't it like 50% of people get divorced or close to 50? Like, it's a lot. A lot of people get divorced, and pretty much none of them do this kind of thing. The only ones that do this kind of thing are sexual predators. That's the only thing that differentiates between the people that do this and the people that don't. Otherwise, this would happen so freaking often because every person that gets a divorce would go out and try to do this with a minor. That is absurd. That does not happen. It'd be like saying, you know what, I'm getting a divorce, so I just went and tried to have sex with a man. It's like, no, you wouldn't do that unless you were a homosexual. You wouldn't do something just because you're getting divorced that was outside of what you would normally do. Obviously, he's a sexual predator. Like, I could see if he's like, I went out and, went to the bar, got drunk, and had a one-night stand with some woman he met at the bar. And maybe he wouldn't normally do that, but he was getting divorced. It's like, I could understand that. But he purposely chose a minor to speak with and to come visit. And he was speaking with several other minors, too. So obviously, that's his preference, and that's who he was seeking out, which has absolutely no relation to the fact that he was getting divorced. Not to mention, I have a feeling that getting divorced was probably all, or at least mostly, his fault. He was probably online all the time, trying to live out these sick fantasies, chatting with these minors, and his wife is probably like, why are you always on the computer? What are you doing? And he's like, oh, it's for work or whatever, and it was probably causing a strain in their relationship, and she ended up leaving him. So then he's like, hey, I'm free now to actually try to go through with this, and then he gets caught and blames it on the fact that he was getting divorced. You're a goddamn liar, James.
I don't know what spawned this. I mean, I was just in an Ohio chat room.
Yeah, he was just innocently in an Ohio chat room, and then this mean 13-year-old girl just came after him and forced him into this conversation and forced him to drive over to her house. Yeah, Jim, yeah, you were just an innocent man who happened to be chatting up a whole bunch of minors on this whatever website you were using.
Adult chat room. And this was a week or so ago, and she started talking to me.
No, you started talking to her. Every single one of these, the guys always reach out. The decoys never reach out first. But many of them try to spin it around and like, she just reached out to me, she just talked to me. No, you reached out to her, Jim. You're the adult. You're the one who's 100% responsible for this.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it right for you to have this kind of discussion.
And I shouldn't have.
Look, divorce is tough. Everybody gets that.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to make fun of that, right?
Well,
I'm going to make fun of it.
Okay, it's not good.
No, normally I wouldn't to like a normal person because it's a rough thing to go through. But when you're a sexual predator like this, you kind of open yourself up to being completely eviscerated on YouTube.
For that, what kills me right now, on top of the fact that I just blew that part of my life, and I don't even know you, I don't know why I just ruined the rest of my life. I just lost my job as a teacher. I'm probably going to go to jail. I'm not going to survive in jail.
Well, two of those three things are correct. You're going to lose your job. However, you're going to go to jail, but you will survive jail. And I think I've heard that this guy is remarried. So it's just kind of odd that some woman who was probably aware of all this chose James Rutherford as her husband. I mean, Okay, I guess I wish her the best, but probably could have done better.
For what? For what?
For what?
I don't know.
Do you have an issue with the internet? Do you have a compulsion, an addiction?
I think I do.
I don't think it's necessarily an issue with the internet. The internet's not the problem. It's what you do on the internet that's the problem. If he spent all his time watching videos or playing games or something like that, that maybe it's not healthy, but it's not wrong. It's fine. It's not illegal. His problem is what he's doing on the internet, which is constantly chatting up minors and trying to arrange meetups.
I mean, it's not.
I mean, help me to explain.
I don't know.
Help me to understand.
I've thought about this a lot for years. Maybe I should just stop.
See, he's basically admitting that, yeah, this has been going on for years. Like, reaching out and chatting up minors has been going on for years. And he knew it was a problem. And he even thought that he should stop. That is frightening for the fact that this guy is a teacher who is, if he had continued working there, basically would have spent his entire career. This guy, if he hadn't been caught, could have been teaching until he's like 65. Always surrounded by young girls of that exact age. Like, that is scary. And then we have to, trust this guy that he's going to go his whole life and never actually follow through with it. Thank God he was caught when he was 26 and not when he's, 66.
Maybe I should get counseling. Maybe I should get help. And I thought, well, it's not that big a deal. I've never taken it to this step. I don't know if this week has just pushed me over the edge.
Look, you're not the first guy to have an issue with the internet and sexually charged conversations.
I know.
Addictions and compulsions.
It's not.
I mean, we see it a lot.
Instead of me being arrested, is there some way you can help me?
Well,
yeah, instead of me getting punished for this, is there any way that I can continue to portray myself as the victim and then just get free help so I can get away with this without any sort of consequence and just get, quote, help? No, Jim, that's not how things work.
I don't know that I can do that.
I mean, will you give me some of the information here and tell me what exactly is going on?
Drop it on him, Chris. Drop this bomb on him.
You want to know what's going on? Do you ever watch television? Do you ever watch Dateline NBC?
Oh, damn, I've seen one of these.
You've seen one of these.
You know, that was one of the reasons I thought, why am I doing this? This could...
What's this thing here on the left? Kind of a bit of a distraction here, but is that looks like a bong or something. I think it's just like a glass art object. But anyways, back to the show.
You set up, I can...
But let me get this straight. You've actually seen our previous programs on computer predators.
I didn't think I was a predator. I wasn't out.
What did you think you were? You're out here trying to do this with a 13-year-old. What did you think you were? Like, he's just so good at lying to himself that he convinced himself that he was not actually going to do anything. This was not wrong. Yet knowing deep inside exactly what he intended to do because he spilled it all out in his chat. How could he not think that he's a predator? It'd be like robbing a convenience store and saying, I didn't think that I was a thief. It's like, well, what did you think stealing the money was? It doesn't make sense.
I wasn't coming up here for anything physical. I know I talk. Look, that was like fantasy.
Here.
That was like
I
fantasy.
know, but everybody says that. But what's going to happen if I'm not here and the 13-year-old girl is? You got all charged up by seeing this gal on the webcam.
I know. I don't know why.
Could I kiss you anywhere?
I'm sorry.
That'd
I
be fun.
Man, I
You
know
could
it's on
point and I'd
TV.
kiss it.
They're kind of really going overkill with the sound recording here. Do they really need two boom mics? Like, usually one would pick up both of their voices.
Can I go?
Look, there's nothing I can do to keep you here.
I'm sure you're going to turn this into the police, right?
Well,
He's still going on about that, right? Like, he's trying to say, please don't rat me out. That's what he's saying, but he's trying to phrase it as a question. You're going to turn this over to the police, right?
On TV.
That's not up to me. I mean, we're doing a story. You've seen the stories before. Didn't you think, after seeing the previous stories,
I did.
that maybe this is something I shouldn't do?
That's why I didn't want to come. I really...
What does that mean? You didn't want to come? Who cares if you wanted to come or not? The fact is you did come. So part of you must have wanted to come.
Down, thought this is the stupidest idea. I don't know why I'm here.
But
I know.
Nobody was twisting your arm.
You're right. You're right. You're 100%
You're a
right.
grown-up.
Yeah. I don't feel like where I am.
See, he's kind of like, he's on that fence where he's at one time trying to like admit to it and be like, I know it's wrong. I know this is wrong. Well, at the same time, he's trying to be defensive and claim that like, oh, there's all these reasons for it. I was lonely and getting divorced and all this.
I feel like an idiot.
I mean, I'm just trying to understand how it gets to this point. You even acknowledge it's wrong here, but I don't want either of us getting into trouble.
I knew.
And by that, he means he doesn't want himself getting in trouble.
I could get in a lot of trouble for this. I don't know why I'm here.
You talk about
Stupid.
parking around back. I'm so freaking horny.
Yeah, I know.
You know if you had me naked, I'd want more, right? Yeah, I would too.
Look,
Yeah, he says that, and then he's here saying, I wasn't really going to do anything.
man, you don't have to read it. You're a TV guy. Everybody that's watching this knows why I'm here.
Yeah, everyone watching this knows why you're here, James.
It was stupid. I wasn't really going to do anything.
I know, but that's
But I
hard
know,
to square
I know.
with what you said
I
here,
know.
Jim.
I really know.
And everybody who comes in says, I really wasn't going to do anything.
Not
And if
surprised.
you're going to have this conversation and then come over here and a 13-year-old girl is home alone,
I shouldn't have done it. I don't know what I'm here for.
the other issue, well, it sounds like what you're here for is
Well,
to have sex with a
I
13-year-old
wasn't
girl.
going to have sex with her. Look, give me a Bible. I swear to God.
You know, a lot of people have had religious conversions after walking in here.
Yeah, being a religious person does not mean that you would not do this kind of thing. That has absolutely no bearing on whether or not you would follow through with this.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm not that religious of a guy.
And the other...
I'll tell you this. I might have kissed her. I wouldn't have done anything else.
That's still horrible, James. Even if that's true, which it's not, that is still horrible. Would you want to come home and find out that some 26-year-old guy was home alone there with your 13-year-old daughter, but he says, "Don't worry, we were just kissing"? Like, fuck that. Like, that's still beyond horrible. And we know it's a lie, because obviously if they were just kissing, he would have tried to do more. He would have, like, done whatever he could to talk her into it, to tell her it was okay. Like, it would not have stopped there.
You might have kissed her.
Might have. I know I shouldn't.
And where's that going to lead once you start kissing her?
Yeah, exactly. We know exactly where it's going to lead.
I wouldn't have let it. I'm honest with you right now.
I would not have let it. Obviously, you have no self-control, Jim. For the fact that you said that you were driving here, and the whole time you were driving here, you were like, man, why am I doing this? I should just turn around. Obviously, you don't have the ability to control yourself from doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing. So how could all of a sudden, the whole drive there and everything, you follow through with that, but once you're actually making physical contact with the girl, that's when all of a sudden you're going to have the willpower to stop? No frickin' way, James.
I know nobody watching's going to believe. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
no one's going to believe it.
have done anything else. She is a kid. I knew that when I was coming up here. I
You're-
wasn't going to do anything. I'm an adult.
You're a teacher.
Yeah, I know.
That's a position of trust and leadership in the community. You know how kids think. You know it's a very emotionally charged
Not to mention, you're around them the entire day. You spend like 8 hours a day surrounded by kids that are that age. That's bad.
time for them.
I'm not a teacher anymore.
I mean, you're equipped to take advantage of somebody that age should you choose to do so. And by coming here today, it certainly appears as though that's exactly what you were trying to do.
Look at that sound guy here. He's like, this guy must just have like massive arm strength. He's just one-handing that boom pole. Those things are freaking heavy.
Divorce or not,
I know it's like resting on his shoulder and head there, but it's like, yeah, those things aren't light.
computer problem or not, you know, the experts tell us that, okay, the guy may say, I'm not going to do it this time, maybe not the next time, but sometime it's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like, regardless of whether anything or to what extent things happened physically in this interaction, if it was for real, he would have been emboldened by it. Even if he didn't go all the way this time, he would have been emboldened by the fact that he got away with it. They would have continued chatting. He would have come over, on the weekend a few days later or something. He would have tried this with more girls, and it would have just escalated and escalated. There's no way that it would have just like ended at this one simple meeting where they just watched a movie and he left. Like, no, there's no way that would happen. It would, sooner or later, it would have happened. He would have done this with more girls. It would have escalated with the girls he was doing it with. There's no possible way that this would have not gotten worse.
Right. Can I talk to you off camera?
I can't do that. I'm sorry. What's the
Do you guys have any help for me?
Now he's trying to phrase it that he needs help. Rather than he's a predator doing something illegal, he just needs help. He has an illness. He's sick. Like, I don't buy that.
There are a number of ways to get help, and we're going to get into that in the story. We've got into it in some of the past stories.
Is there any way to keep myself off of this thing?
We've made no decisions as to who's going to be in or out of the story. We're just getting started. So,
Well, the real answer to that, James, is no.
I can't.
If there's some way I do start getting help, I mean, my insurance covers therapy, and that's obviously what I need.
The time to do that was long before you're face-to-face with Chris Hansen.
Obviously more than this issue, but another number of things. Even if it was something I just don't, my life's a wreck right now.
He just doesn't want to have to face consequences for it. It's nothing to do with your life. Every guy is in the same situation, right? Every person on earth is going through some kind of a struggle. It's part of life. What you're trying to say is that, hey, I'm going through a divorce and some of these same things like loneliness that a lot of other human beings go through, yet I should not have to face any sort of consequence for doing this horrible illegal thing. I should just be able to get off on it and get some counseling.
On top of this, I don't want this to ruin the rest of my life.
Well, I can tell you what. I can give you my card, and you can keep in touch, and we can...
I mean...
He has no problem ruining the life of young girls that he's predating on.
I mean, are the police here? Am I going to be taken out of here in handcuffs right now?
I mean, that's not up to me. But that's my card. I'm sorry, Sprinkle. That's
He really, really wants to know if he's going to get arrested.
That's okay.
But if you want to call and stay in contact...
I mean, even if maybe there's... I don't know. A way that without telling the world that I screwed up royally.
He's just practically begging. He's just trying to... Is there any way that you cannot show this? Is there any way I can get away with this without anyone finding out what I did? If he could just get away with this and not be on TV and not be arrested and go to jail, no one would find out about it. And then he would just be back doing it again. He'd be back doing it, a couple days later, he'd be back on his computer, chatting up minors again. The only thing now is he would know that these things might be a sting, so he would take extra precaution doing it now. So no, Jim, you cannot just get away with it and claim you're going to get help.
You could maybe do hide my identity. I'll even sit down with you, and I can try to get help.
So you want NBC to do a special investigation story just into you, while the whole time your face and voice are obscured. Is that what you're saying, James? You're not that important.
What I can tell you right now is, because we're just getting started with this and we're in the middle of it,
I
mean, all I'm saying is that you can call me. I'll be happy to talk to you as we continue to put the story together. And that's really all I can tell you at this point. Because I just don't know how it's all going to shape up. And I'm just being straight with you, that's all.
I know.
So I can't promise you one thing or another.
I promise you a lot right now.
Well, I understand that. A lot of people promise.
I know. And you know what? In the last one I saw that the guy was dumb enough that he came here, the next damn day he went and tried to do it again. I'm not that stupid.
John Kennelly?
I don't know why I'm here. I need help. But you know what? You're right. I'm a teacher. And I don't do it because I'm some pervert. I love teaching. I love kids.
I beg to differ, James. I beg to differ.
It's the only thing I've ever loved. I don't know what the hell. I don't know why I'm here. And you asked me if I coach. Yeah, I coach. And not because I was trying to find a damn date or get. It's because I like working with those people. I like teaching kids. And I don't know what I'm doing here.
And, maybe he never did anything with the kids at his school, but it's probably only because the huge risk of getting caught. He'd rather just go outside of his own little district there, or his own town, where it'd be harder for him to get caught. That's the only reason he wouldn't have done that.
I know you've heard this. Hell, I've seen.
And even if it's true that he didn't coach because he was trying to do anything wrong or illegal, but there's no doubt that he was getting some sort of enjoyment out of being around kids of that age.
People sit here and say the same stuff.
But what does it say
It doesn't say much for me. I know.
about the fact that you were suspicious? You had seen our previous stories. Probably got a chuckle out of what happened to some of these guys.
Yeah, and honestly, I sat there and watched and thought, those guys are sick. Why would you do that?
And I always find that so interesting that a lot of these sexual predators that do this kind of thing, they look upon other sexual predators doing the exact same thing and look down on them. They're like, yeah, those guys are sick individuals, they're predators. Yet somehow they justify it to themselves that, well, my situation's different. Even though they're doing the exact same thing, they're like, my specific situation is different, and I'm not a predator like them for whatever reason. But it's like, who cares what your reason is, whether you're getting divorced or whether you're lonely, or like, who cares what you're still trying to do the exact same thing. So you're all just as bad as each other. So how can you look down on someone else and then you're doing the exact same thing? Like this show that he was watching, like the other To Catch a Predators, it was within the last year. It was like a few months ago that those stories aired. So Jim was clearly chatting up minors online at the very same time he was watching these shows, and then he's like, yeah, those guys are sick. What do you think he was doing?
And that was what, a month and a half ago? And then here I am.
But what does it say about your issue? That you would watch the program,
I don't
pass
know.
judgment on the guys in that show,
I'm a
and then
hypocrite.
show up here yourself.
I'm obviously a hypocrite. I'm sorry, Mr. Hansen. I'm sorry, all you guys. I'm sorry if this does end up on air. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still think he's just like, if I just submit and apologize and everything, that maybe this will work out well for him. If he could really show that he's remorseful about it, maybe he'll get away and they won't air his segment and he won't get arrested. That's what's going through his mind.
Everybody else that sees this, don't do it.
Don't worry, no one's gonna do this except for sexual predators. So we don't need your suggestion that we don't do this kind of predatory behavior.
I mean, that's why I said I don't. If there's any way I can get help, if I can show you I've gotten help, if I can.
Yeah, he's still trying to beg. Is there some way is there anything I could do to not be exposed?
show you that it's helping me.
I mean, all I can tell you is that, let me know what's going on.
I mean,
I mean, that's my number, that's my email.
I mean, how much trouble am I in if you do turn this into the police?
Well, that's not up to me. I mean,
But I mean, do you know? I mean, I don't even know.
I mean, all I'm involved in is the story. So
Does anybody here know? I know you guys aren't allowed to be on camera.
Don't talk to the crew, you idiot. They're just there to do their job.
Because they're all involved in the story too. The law enforcement part is something that's separate and that I don't control.
I mean, I know I've seen some of them that. I could be wrong. I watched bits and pieces of it. We talked about it, and like I said, I thought, what the hell's wrong with these people?
Did you talk about it in school?
Yeah, we talked about it with the other teachers. A lot of us had seen it. And we thought, why would you do that? We all.
So these stories have been a topic of discussion at the school where you teach.
And then here I am.
Spend your time at school talking with your coworkers about To Catch a Predator, and then when the next episode airs, you're on it.
Say to those other teachers.
I don't know. I have no idea. I can't. I don't know what I'll do. I don't want you to think I'm a monster. I'm not. I'm really not.
What makes you think that you're not? Like, what have you done with your life? Like, clearly your actions recently have indicated you're some kind of monster, depending on what your definition of a monster is. You're definitely not a good person. What has he done, like, that makes him think that he's done something so great with his life that it cancels out this horrible thing that he did, so he's overall a good person and not a monster?
I don't think. I didn't think I was anyway. Maybe I am.
But you're here. Drove 2 hours to get here.
You know,
Plenty of time to...
I was this close, honestly, to just going to the Wright Pat Air Force Museum. I was this close. I thought, you know, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I thought I'll go there, or I saw some tourist something on whatever state route I was on. I even thought, hell, while I'm here, I'll go to the place I bought my car here, believe it or not, and see if they've got the key they never gave me.
But what does all this mean? This is nonsense. Like, so, you thought about going to an Air Force museum, or you thought about going to some other tourist attraction you saw along the way. You thought about going to the car dealership where you bought your car to get a key that they never gave you. What does any of this have to do? The thing is, you didn't do any of those things. You drove straight to this house, and then, so what do you want us to say? Like, oh, he really considered going to a museum, therefore he is less culpable for this crime. Like, what? Who cares what you thought about doing? We only care what you did.
I had so many things cross my mind that what I should be doing. And it's like I was thinking no, but I just did it anyway. I don't know why.
I mean, was it like some...
Can I drink this?
Yes, you may.
I can't. I'm getting dry. Obviously.
You can have some of those chips, too, that Kevin Westerbeck was digging his dirty hands in.
Are you suggesting that you couldn't control yourself?
Apparently not. I don't know. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I know it sounds like that.
Yeah, you're exactly trying to make excuses. You've done nothing but make excuses.
I don't know. I mean, I've always talked to people online, and I've never done anything like this. You're right. It's like I couldn't control myself. I'm not trying to make excuses. I don't know if I've just shut down this week. I am about to go through a divorce.
See, that's kind of scary. If there was an element of truth to what he's saying, he's basically saying that, like, he's always chatting up these girls, these young girls, but he's never gone through with meeting them. But basically, he was like a powder keg. He was just waiting to explode. Sooner or later, something was going to happen. And all it took was his wife saying she's going to divorce him. And then all of a sudden, he followed through with it. That's very dangerous, because that means that, like, say he wasn't going to get divorced, but sooner or later, something bad would have happened in his life, because bad things happen to everyone. Something bad would have happened, and he would have used that as an excuse to follow through with it, whether it was the next month, the next year, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Sooner or later, something would have happened that would have tipped him over the edge. Like, that's frightening.
I know I wouldn't be here.
If it wasn't for that.
If it wasn't for that. I can honestly say that, because I wouldn't have, wanted to hurt my wife.
Oh, shut up. The reason he probably didn't do it was because his wife would be looking over his shoulder. He would have had to explain why he was leaving the house and where he was going, and it was probably hard to come up with a lie. But now they're getting divorced, and maybe she's living somewhere else, or she's not in the house. All of a sudden, you have all that freedom, and you don't have to justify to anyone why you're traveling to go to some other town.
Ex-wife now. I think maybe I just said, what the hell, I've got nothing else to lose right now. And obviously, I really didn't think that one through, because I'm pretty sure this is going to cost me the rest of everything I know.
But, you look like a guy who's got it together, who could go out and be social and talk to women your age.
I try.
Have buddies.
I don't know why I'm here. Jesus.
I mean, was it the allure?
Like, what does he mean, I try? Does he mean, like, I try to show interest in women my age, but I just don't have enough of a drive or a desire to do it, so he gives up? Or is he trying to say that, like, women his age don't show him any attention, so he aims younger because they talk to him? Like, obviously his wife is probably age appropriate, so yeah, I don't get what he means by I try.
I don't know. I really, honestly, and you're right.
Of some forbidden...
Stop saying honestly.
Fantasy? Is that what's
be
going on? I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to be
Mr.
a hard
Hansen.
guy about it.
I know.
But I'm just trying to understand it, that's all.
I know. I don't... You know what? I wish I understood it. I don't know if it was, like you said, just because it was forbidden, or... I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
Because
I
the
can
law
tell.
is very clear on a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, just the chat.
Probably wasn't a good idea.
Illegal.
Is it really?
Against the law.
Just to talk to somebody? I mean,
Is it?
to solicit for sex.
Well, I wasn't soliciting for sex.
I know,
It really
but
wasn't.
I'm not the prosecutor. I'm not the police.
Yeah, James, there's no way that you could possibly argue that this chat was in any way appropriate. Even if somehow what you did was not illegal, if it didn't quite meet the definition of illegal, it's still absolutely horrible. There's no person in the world that would think that this is appropriate.
You know what you said. It was sexually
will you
charged.
turn in all this stuff to him too?
We're really gathering this for a story. Law enforcement does what law enforcement does. We do what we do.
So you just give him like that? And say,
I
showed up
personally,
at
I
work?
personally don't.
Okay, Jim, the law enforcement, once they find out about this, they're going to gather all the evidence that they can. They're not going to come and arrest you, but be like, you know what, we're not going to worry about reading that chat log. You know, that was your own private conversation. Don't worry about that. We won't dig into that. Obviously, they're going to look into everything they possibly can. They're going to come to your house and seize your computer to see what you've been doing on it. So what's the point of saying, are you going to turn that over to them? The police are going to get it no matter what.
I mean, we use this for the story, and you know that the law enforcement part of it is something totally separate.
Like I said, my life is pretty much going to right now, and
Maybe you should just offer Chris your Corvette, James. Just, hey, I'll give you my Corvette if you don't put me on the air.
I hate the fact that I just made an even bigger mistake and probably just cost myself everything else. My friends, trust, my job. I just want to get help, and I know that's probably not going to happen. But I wish I could, well, I wish I wouldn't have done something stupid like this, but I wish I could just find help.
Well, help is out there.
That's why I wish, if I don't end up in jail, I hope I don't end up in jail for this stupid mistake. I don't want to throw away my life for something.
Have you ever gone to visit somebody who's underage before?
No.
Have you ever chatted with somebody who's underage before on the internet?
I have, and like I said, I don't know if it was just the kind of allure and the fantasy.
So how many times do you figure you've done that in the past?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the internet's been around since I was that age. And I guess as I grew up, I just, I would chat and things like that. Probably more than I should have. I don't know. But, I mean, no, I know you said, and I saw it on the damn show, every one of them walked in, and I'm sorry, I'll watch my language. Every one of them walked in, I've never done this, and I'm sure some of them had. I really haven't. I don't know why.
What does he mean he hasn't? Like, yeah, maybe he hasn't gone to visit them, but you've been trying to. You've been chatting them up. You've been putting effort into it. You just haven't had the opportunity yet to follow through with it. But the second the opportunity came, because it was a decoy and they invited you over, you absolutely jumped at that opportunity. So you can't claim that somehow you're better than those other guys because you hadn't actually tried it before.
I did it.
But you have chatted with underage
I have.
kids.
But never with the intention that I was really going to do something. And then today it was like...
But these conversations were sexual in nature?
Yeah, sometimes. And that's one of the things, like I said, I think it was before these guys even came out. And I know it was, actually. I've thought many times, how do I stop this? How do I get... And I guess... Not like this isn't embarrassing as hell. But
Don't worry, James. It's saying whatever you're going to say right now is going to be no worse than everything you've said up to this point. You're already exposed to the entire world.
I was always just too embarrassed to even go talk to a counselor or talk to a therapist and say, look, I think I've got a problem. Here's what I do. Why? How do I fix this? How do I help myself?
I mean, how often do you figure that you've talked to somebody who's underage?
This age, not. I mean, like I said, I was in an adult room. I was talking to people that were 20, 25.
But what does that mean? You're in an adult room talking to people that were 20, 25, but you've already admitted that you've been talking to minors for quite a while now. So who cares what you were doing that particular day when you met this minor? You'd already been talking to other minors before, so obviously this is kind of the kind of thing you do on a consistent basis.
And I was just clicking on random names and, just chatting with girls, guys. I mean, not sexually usually. And I clicked on hers and we started talking, and I even think at first I was like, oh, I was a little young, and I know I've been trying not to do that. I really have. I thought, well, it's innocent enough. We're just chatting about stupid stuff, whatever, no big deal. I mean, I do the same thing at school.
But it almost appears, if you look
You do the same thing in school?
at this, like there was a grooming process. Like you were
You
trying
know,
to
I
get
remember
her
you
to-
said that, and I've examined, do I do that? I mean, is that what I'm doing when I'm on here?
It is. Like, how could you not know what you're doing? Like, you didn't keep the conversation innocent. I mean, really, you shouldn't be talking to any 13-year-olds, period, regardless of what it's about. That's, like, it's unnecessary and kind of creepy and weird. But he was the one that turned it flirtatious. He's the one that turned it sexual. All of that stuff he brought up first, and he steered the conversation in that direction. So he can't say it was innocent.
I remember hearing that and thinking, is that me? Is that what I'm doing?
Yep.
I didn't think of it like that. I don't know how many studies there have been on how, obviously, I'm something I didn't think I was.
But
I don't.
as a teacher, obviously you read the
I
stuff
know.
about making
I know.
sure kids don't fall prey to
And
stuff
I
like
don't.
this.
I don't in
right?
school. I've never, ever crossed that line. Ever. I've never even considered it when I was with kids.
But I'm
Because you knew that there was a strong chance of being caught. Because it's too close to home. So you traveled, you'd met what you thought was an anonymous youngster online, and then traveled outside of your own area where you live, thinking that it would be anonymous and you wouldn't get caught. And you were wrong.
I'm not even suggesting that. What I am suggesting is, as a teacher, you're exposed to the material that explains how this can happen, what to look for in your students to make sure they don't fall prey to this sort of thing, and here you are involved in this kind of activity.
I don't know how I'm going to tell anybody. I wish I didn't have to. Why am I here?
I mean, if you saw the stories and you're up on the material and you realize the danger, that must say something about the allure, at least for you, of this sort of activity. And
I
again,
think it just shows how much of a predator he really is.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to get it.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about. Oh, Jesus, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why I did it. Like I said, I've never, ever crossed a line like that with a person that I was a student. Ever. Not even thought about it. I guess maybe it was just...
So you didn't cross that line with one of your own students, but you're just willing to cross that line with some other random girl, and somehow you're using the fact that you haven't done it with your own students as a defense. I don't think there's like a hierarchy of which minor you're allowed to do this to. There's no better or worse. The fact is, you're doing this to a human being who is under the age of consent. There's no way this is not horrible.
It's like online, it was like they weren't real.
It's all pretend.
That's kind of what it feels like, I think.
But it was real when you walked in that door.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like I said, I'd seen... haven't there been two of these? Or just one?
Three.
Three? I'd seen them. I knew that was a possibility. And I thought, why would I throw my life away for this? And I just kept driving. I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell America. I wish I could tell...
I really doubt he wishes he could tell America. I think he wants America to not find out about it. But don't worry, Jim. It's not only America; it's the rest of the world too. We're all on YouTube, so you've gone global.
Everybody that I'm going to have to tell.
What do you say to other men your age who are now in chat rooms talking to girls, underage girls? What do you say to them?
What would I say, having been here?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? I can't say I don't feel really hypocritical, but I would be like, look, you need to step back and figure out what your intentions are. Is this worth it? And for what? I mean, I'm serious. I know that doesn't look good. Honestly, on the way up, I thought, you know what, I'll just hang out, watch a movie, and go home. I don't
It's a long way to drive to hang out and watch
You're
a
right,
movie.
and I know it, like I said, it doesn't look good. It sounds like I'm just full of BS. But I thought, she's a kid. She's half my age. I'm not going to do something like that to her.
like, why even go over to begin with? Like, it's just so wrong. Like, if you're a parent, you don't want some strange 26-year-old man that you've never met and that you're unaware is coming over to be at home alone with your 13-year-old daughter while there's no one else in the house. Even if he was there to just, quote, watch a movie, that's still, that's so wrong. Like any normal person would just not do that.
I know, I mean, everybody out there is going to think I'm a fool, but that's really the whole way up here, back and forth again. Why should I just turn around? Should I go somewhere else? Should I just go, pull over and cry because my life's crap right now? And
oh, poor James, gonna pull over and cry. We should all feel sorry for him. Yeah, that's not the way it is.
And then here I am.
The cameraman's just like, man, I'm bored of this. I'm out of here.
But what would I say? I don't know. Why are you here? Have you really thought about this? Have you thought about the consequences for yourself? Have you thought about the consequences if you guys weren't here?
What could have happened?
Even if it hadn't been this, even if nothing had happened, I could have messed her life up.
Exactly. So don't try to pretend you're all of a sudden on our side, Jim. He's like arguing our points. Like, he could have really messed her life up. We know. That's what we're saying. You're the perpetrator. You're the one that's doing this kind of thing. So don't try to pretend like you're on the girl's side now. You're the one that tried to do this.
I mean,
you know how vulnerable a 13-year-old kid can be. You got him.
Like I said, I don't know if it was the internet. Like I said, I think something about it. Even when I was that age, it was like it wasn't real. I'm talking to people.
The internet and real life are two different things. When you're quoting Jeff Stacy, maybe you're not taking the brightest advice you could possibly get.
That it's people you don't know. You can chat about politics or cars or sports or obviously sex.
I wonder which of those things Jim was most interested in talking about.
But it's like it's not real. If they get mad or you get mad at them, you never have to see them again. And I don't know what. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses. I don't know if it was just that this week pushed me over the edge, and that's why I crossed this line. I really never have just driven to meet a 13-year-old before. Why would I? But I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what made me do it.
Well, will you do me a favor? Will you keep me posted?
I will.
All right.
I mean,
that's my number, right?
Mr. Hansen, I'm serious.
I appreciate that. That's why I asked you to.
He's still begging. He's still begging for some way, just some deal that he can concoct here to get himself not exposed or arrested.
And I know it's not up to you. It's going to be up to your producers. I'm serious, and I'm going to get help.
If you're trying to get Chris's sympathy, you shouldn't imply that somehow he doesn't have power in this TV show, that he needs a producer's permission. You should probably try sucking up to him a little bit more. It wouldn't work, but you can't just imply that Chris doesn't have the power to make any decisions.
I know you hear that probably from every single schmuck that walks through that door, that I'm going to get help. And like I said, I even saw that idiot go out and try it again the next day. And I don't know if that's even going to happen. I don't know if I should even go home and call my parents, call my lawyer, call my principal and say, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to be able to.
What the hell makes him think that decision's going to be up to him? Like it's up to him to decide whether or not he's going to be able to keep teaching or not? That decision's going to be made for you. The second you're arrested, you are going to be fired.
I've never thought about it with those kids. I never would have crossed that line with any of them because they're real to me. I see their emotions. I don't want to throw that away, and I'm afraid I just did. But if there's any way that I can help you, and that if the police, the prosecutor, your bosses, and I know it's not up to you, could, like I said, even if you'd hide my identity, you can use my words if you spew my voice. I don't know, and then even do a follow-up. Interview me, I'll start talking to someone. Hell, I'm sitting here doing it what could be on national television. I guess I can now do it with a therapist.
You wish you had done it before with a therapist instead of sitting here with me and
Oh
always
yeah.
television
Oh
cameras?
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with him there. He probably wishes that he had done anything it took to not do this. But I don't think that talking to a therapist, I really, really doubt is going to have any effect. I'm not a professional. I don't have the statistics. But I think if someone's a predator that has these kind of desires and this kind of drive to do this, just going to a counseling session once a week or once every 2 weeks is not going to stop them from doing it. If knowing it's wrong, knowing they could go to prison, knowing it could ruin their lives, knowing it will make them lose their jobs, if all of that is not enough to stop them, how is just going to see a counselor going to stop them from doing that? I have a hard time believing that.
And you know, I'm not kidding. I've thought about that more than once. I mean, I guess I could have been like the other guys and taken off running. But then I guess...
To be honest, you probably should have done that instead of sitting here and talking for half an hour, because you just gave the internet a hell of a lot more material to comment on.
I wouldn't have gotten to tell my side of why I'm here. You would have known who I was anyway, and it would have probably been worse. I have thought about... I'll be frank. I mean, since I was probably 20, 21, and of course then, you know, it was, you know, I'm 20, she's 17, I'm chatting to her, no big deal. It was like I kept getting older, and then
Kids
it's
get
cliche. They got younger, or they stayed the same age, and you know, 99.9% of the people I would even talk to on there are 19, 20, 21 at the youngest.
Yeah, that's your defense, James. Most of the people I chat up aren't minors. It should be all of the people. This isn't the kind of thing where if you just do it a little bit, it's okay. No, it should be none of them.
But it was the other ones that I always thought, well, why am I chatting? And the fact that many a times I thought, I'm married, why am I chatting to women anyway?
Exactly, James.
Maybe I should talk to somebody. And I always thought, I just can't put that out there in front of a
Couldn't admit it to
therapist.
yourself.
I couldn't admit it to myself. And
No, the thing is, he just didn't want to stop. If he went to see a counselor and did all this stuff, they would make some effort, whether or not it worked, to get him to stop doing this, which he doesn't want to do. He wants to keep doing it. That's why he never went to get help.
I couldn't admit it to a stranger. And now here I am. I just hope it's not too late for me. I know America, if this makes it on, is going to think that, you know, I should never be within a mile of a kid again. And I'm
Don't worry, Canada's going to think the same thing, James.
sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. And I've honestly, especially the parents of the kids that are probably going to see this that know me, I've never thought about it with one of them. Never would have done it. I mean...
So what he's saying is that, hey, don't worry, parents, I would have never done anything with your kids, just other kids, other people's kids. Like, does he seriously think that's like that defense makes him look good?
Hell, nobody at school even knows except my principal and a couple of my close friends knows I'm getting divorced.
What do you think they're going to say at school?
I think they'll be surprised. Because I'm not... This isn't me.
This is you, James. This isn't some doppelganger who just looks like you who got caught. This is you. You're sitting here in front of Chris Hansen on To Catch a Predator video being interrogated. You got caught doing it, and you're guilty. So how could you say this isn't you?
I don't know.
Maybe this is not what you want to be. Maybe this is not the kind of person you want to be, but the fact is, it is.
I hope they're surprised. I don't...
But I guess the question that some people might ask is this. If you eventually evolve to the point where you'd come here to meet a 13-year-old girl after this kind
Would've
of
gotten worse.
conversation, at what point do you suddenly become interested in kids in the school you teach?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, maybe it's true he hasn't done anything yet, but can we really trust he's still young, he's going to go his whole career and never cross that line? Sooner or later, he's going to find himself alone with a student. There's no way. Sooner or later, that would have happened. This guy's a ticking time bomb. We've already seen that. He said he's been chatting them up for years, but never followed through with it. But now that he's going through a divorce, that's somehow just like opened the floodgates to cause him to actually drive to someone's house. So what would have happened in his life? What could happen in his life that would have made him do something with a student? Maybe he'd use the divorce as an excuse to do that. Like, who knows? Like, this guy should not be around kids.
Ryan, it's a legitimate question.
That's why I want help. Maybe, I don't know. You've seen this.
And I don't think he really wants help. He just wants to not be punished. He wants to not lose his job, go to jail, and be exposed. He doesn't actually want to get help. If they told him, like, okay, look, we're not going to air the segment, and you won't be arrested. No one will find out about this. If that was the case, he would not get help. He would just go home and be like, whew, I got away with it. That was a close one. And then he would have jumped back online. You know, maybe it would have scared him enough to stay away for a little while. But pretty soon, he would have gone back online and started chatting, probably with adults at first. And, you know, he would tell himself, I'm never going to chat with a minor again. But then he would have find a minor online, and he'd be like, you know what, if I just start talking innocently with them. And he would have done that, and pretty soon he would have been right back in his old pattern of doing exactly what he always does.
A lot of times. What do I do now?
Well, I'm not in the business of giving
You're not a person that gives
psychiatric
advice.
advice, but I think if you were to inquire anyone...
If a person's willing to do this kind of thing, to drive over here with this intent, there's no advice you could give them to straighten their life out. They're predatory and have no self-control. That's a dangerous combination. There's no advice that could help these guys.
Where just like you would if you were feeling you were ill in any other way, they would probably help you.
But what do I do with that? I mean, do I, like I said, do I go home and call my boss and say I can't come in anymore?
But
Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, sure, you could do that, but was it when Walter Babs, I think it was, wasn't it like his lawyer called them? Because it's like, I think there's some sort of legal mandate or something that they have to do that. So it's like the police are going to tell them, somehow they're going to find out. Because most people, when they find out that a teacher's doing this kind of thing, they don't want that person around kids. So there's a whole lot of people that are going to tell the principal for you. So it's really out of your control.
those are things that I just can't.
I know.
I'm not in a position to give you advice on. Now, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you shedding light on this situation, because I think it's helpful in a number of different ways. And again,
Yeah, it gives us content to make TCAP commentaries on.
I'm being
So
serious
thank you, James.
about this. That's my number and that's my email. And keep me posted as to how things are going. And I'm willing to have a continuing discussion with you. In terms of what's going to be in the story or not in the story, we're just starting, so I can't.
I mean, when is this thing supposed to air and all that?
You know, those things are going to be decided once we get the story together, and it's not done yet. So, I mean, like I said, you know, if you want to keep in touch with me, as I know that information, I'm going to share it with you. I'm not going to hide it from you, you know.
I know.
So, you know, I'm just being as straight up about it as I can.
I just don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, a lot.
That would be one hell of a phone call or like email to be sitting around expecting, is Chris Hansen messaging you to tell you the date and time that your segment is going to air on To Catch a Predator.
A lot of those guys came in here, and I know there was one that was like a rabbi, and and a lot of those guys weren't in a position that they were with kids.
Like you.
And I feel like, as much as I love my job, and as embarrassing and as hard as it's going to be to tell anyone, I don't know if I should go back and put myself there.
Obviously not, James. Like, is this guy delusional? Why would he think that's his choice? Like, good lord.
But like I said, it's the only thing I've ever loved, teaching.
I like how that boom operator there, that second guy, has just finally lost his energy. He's just like flat out sitting on the floor now.
It's the only thing I've ever been good at. And I hate to throw that all away for a stupid frickin' mistake. And something that I really did go back and forth on so much.
It's tortured you.
It really did. I mean, I know some of those guys were like, heck yeah, gung-ho, I'm in, and probably a lot of them had done it before. And I'm sure some of them hadn't. Some of them were probably in my boat, that it was just like a mistake.
So he's putting himself in a different boat than other predators. Like, there's a difference between the guys that have done this before, the guys that haven't. Somehow there's a different ways to differentiate between them. They all got caught attempting to do the same thing. So you're in the same boat as John Kennelly and David Kay and the other guys you've referenced there, James. You're no different or better than them.
Well, Jim, I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. I mean, you tell that kid I'm sorry too. All right. I will.
Well, it's not really a kid; it's a decoy, and they're an adult. But sure, we'll apologize to the fictitious minor for you, James.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm sorry. Is that still on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I really am.
No, he's just pointing the camera at you and holding it on his shoulder, but it's not on.
If anybody that I know sees this, I am sorry. Don't think of me as a monster. I'm not. I made a mistake.
All right, time to go get arrested now, James.
All right, do me a favor. Keep me posted, all right?
I mean, am I supposed to leave now, or should I?
Yeah, no, you're free to leave.
Yeah, you get the hell out of here.
If you want to take the water, you can take the water.
Sorry, guys.
At the very least, James got a souvenir, which was Chris Hansen's business card.
I'll keep in touch. I know what I'm doing.
All right.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Dead man walking here. He's going to go outside and get the surprise of a lifetime.
Sheriff's Department, stop, put your hands on your...
You have the right to remain silent, you understand? Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, you understand? You have the right to talk to a lawyer, have them present with you while you're being questioned, do you understand that? Sir. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish, do you understand? Yes, sir. If you can decide, or you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not to answer any questions or make any statements, do you understand? Yes, sir. Okay.
Phone in. Check your head. What's your name?
Ending right now.
Well, I guess that's it for James Rutherford. Yeah, this was a long one. I really like this segment. Like, there's just a lot to talk about and analyze there. But I really, in case you missed it, for everything I was saying, I really, really despise this guy. He just makes me angry and all the stupid excuses. But anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.